Good morning, JMC3 here, and what we have before us today, and forgive me if I start sneezing because I'm fighting off a cold, is the Boker Plus. Now, the second part of what I'm about to say is going to go two ways. This is the Boker Plus Bat or the Boker Plus Batman, depending on what site you're going to or who you're talking to. I've heard it called both. I've been to some sites that have called it the Batman and some sites that have called it just the Bat. It's a unique design, hawkbill in shape. The blade steel is HCR13 MOV, Sandvik steel. You got little scuff marks on it, and you're gonna find out why in a bit. Now the design is a Kevin and Heather Harvey design. They're custom knife makers out of South Africa. And when I looked up to find out more about them, they're very cowboyish in nature, very outdoors people. So when I found out they designed this knife, it came as a surprise to me. Let's get over the specs first. It's G10 handle scales, and it's a layered form of G10, as you can see, which makes it a very durable handle. The liners are not milled out in any shape, form, or fashion. This blade is heavy, 6.2 ounces, and when I say something's got some weight on it, you can trust me on that. It's pillar constructed. Now it does have jimping, but as medieval as the jimping may look, it offers a massage to the thumb. It's not actual stoppage. I've come across some with the some jimping that actually puts a stop to your thumb to keep it from moving forward. This just offers a speed bump, not an actual stoppage. Now they call it the Bat, and hopefully I don't have to explain too much as to why, because it almost gives the appearance of a bat wing. It has a layered, and I want to make sure I can get some 3D image in here on this. You have little pillars. Now when I first got a hold of this, or actually when I first saw it, the thing that came to mind was, what would you use this for? And I go, JMC3, what would you use this blade for? And to me, it's a defensive blade. Any blade can be used for multiple purposes. Some have better options for utility type work. Some have better options for defensive. But either way, or for whatever reason you buy it, you can use the smallest blade to defend yourself. You can use the largest blade to cut open boxes. But how does it fit into your lifestyle is where you come into the difference of whether I'm going to buy this knife or not. So when I first looked at this, the going factor was I dug it. I just liked how it looked. It was something unique. I didn't have a blade that quite fit this model at this size. The blade itself is 3 3/4 inches long. That's pretty damn big hawkbill. The overall length is 8 1/4. Ambidextrous thumb studs. However, one side, forgive me, one side has texture to it, The other side does not. But because of the size of the thumb studs, it's not that big of a deal. It opens like butter. And it locks up like a rock. It's a well designed, well put together blade. You can see his name. Let's see if I can get that in there. And you're gonna see little oil specs on this because I had to do a cleaning job of it before I did my review, and you're gonna find out why in a second. Doesn't leave much room for it to go either right or left. It comes with a lanyard, but the lanyard was so big and cumbersome that I took it off right off the bat. Just to give you a look of it. It's bigger than the knife, and it's pretty much for a design, just to throw it in there. It's for looks. I have lanyards I can put on there that will be shorter and actually fits my needs more. Now the pocket clip on this can either be positioned for tip up, tip down carry. Basically what you'd have to do is you take this plate off, put it up here, and reverse it. This pocket clip is huge. And because this blade is pretty much going to be used in a defensive manner, it actually gets in the way for how far it stands up from the knife itself. Because any of us, when we open up a blade, we're not going to keep it in this position. We're either going to wrap our thumb around it, hold it in a hammer grip, do a reverse on it. This will hit your hand in every position you try to move this blade into. Right now, when I'm just trying to put it in a grip, it's digging into the meat of my finger. So actually I have to reposition it to get it in there. That is something that needs to be fixed, because even if you flatten that out, you're going to extend the pocket clip down to here, and it's big enough as it is. So this would actually have to, let me close that up before I cut myself. This is going to actually have to be, well, for me, you know, for you it might be different. I would cut this down to here, flatten it out a little bit, and just recustom it for myself. Now at this point in the video, I'm gonna stop and show you a cut test I did on this. Now we're back. Now, I thought about doing a paper cut test on this, but because of the way it's designed, it actually has stops in it. And that's why I was hesitant to actually do a review on this. Because hawkbills, pretty much, they come in handy if you're dealing with something you're going up against where it's not wearing layers of clothes to get snagged up on. This, I could see getting snagged up on heavy coats or something of that nature, so I went straight to cardboard to do a cut test. This, however, for a defensive snap cut, works like a charm. Would this be my first choice for an EDC defensive knife? No. Only because it's limited as far as usage. Stabbing or batoning, it wouldn't be that functional. But for a snap cut, it's like butter. So this is JMC3. Hopefully this was a quick review of a Boker Plus that I picked up for $23 from Knife Center. Nope, I take that back. I picked this up for $23 on Not Just Knives. And for a $23 knife, you can't go wrong. Like my man Rafter said, after your first knife, they're all just for pleasure. First knife's a necessity. Everything after that is just because you fell in love with the idea of owning blades. So this is JMC3. Hoping you guys have a great weekend. Out.